Hey friends, how you doing? It's Monday. My name's Nick Jennison. It's the Monday Guitar Show. We're here to do the thing that we do on Mondays, which is hang out and talk about the guitar. It's lovely to have you on board. If you are tuning in from the UK, happy Bank Holiday Monday. Hopefully you've enjoyed the, I'm going to say, sunshine that we had for at least 10 minutes this morning. Hey, listen, it's lovely to be back. It's lovely to be back playing some electric for you guys too. We've been doing some acoustic streams lately, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. But today we are back on the old electric because we're discussing creativity and we're discussing music theory and all of that good stuff. Also, nice to have this guitar back out for a change. So you guys have been very familiar with my guitar collection, such as it is. You can see most of it here, although there's another rack here that you guys can't see. Too many guitars, let me tell you. And I've been really enjoying playing the maaaaan, which is sitting right here of late, poking its head up the Convair. My number one guitar, but this guitar is an absolute machine. This is the heavy metal guitar that goes away with me when I'm traveling. So I'm spending a lot of time with this guitar because we're traveling a reasonable amount with the old Blitzkrieg boys this summer. So yeah, man, having a lot of fun with that. If you are new here, want to welcome you on board. Thanks for coming. We do this every Monday. It says so right here. The Monday Guitar Show. Clues in the name with Nick Jennison. That's my name. Hooray. We do it Mondays, 8 p.m. UK time. Come rain, come shine, come public holidays, we are always here. And we're discussing all sorts of topics, including today's topic, which is why music theory will not make you a less creative guitar player. Now, we've all heard this a zillion times, I'm sure. We've heard folks say, well-meaning folks perhaps, say things like, hey, listen, if you learn music theory, it'll kill your creativity, bro. Or, you know, things like that. Like, oh, well, I don't want to just, like, I want to play by feel, man. I don't want to be, like, constrained by theory, etc. Or maybe people think theory's scary. Maybe they think it's something that's, like, not for the likes of us. There is this weird kind of perception that music theory is for educated musicians, whatever that even means, you know, musicians who have had some kind of formal training or formal education, and we feel as working class musicians that maybe it's not for the likes of us. Here to tell you all of those things, myths, every single one of them, every single myth. So, before we get too far into the meat of today's stream, I want to remind you guys that today's stream is brought to you in conjunction with Lick Library and Guitar Interactive Magazine. We are currently simulcasting on both channels and both Facebook pages, so wherever you happen to be watching, drop us a thumbs up, let us know that you're enjoying what it is that we're putting out. We would love to hear from you. If you have questions, don't forget to drop them down below. So whatever you want to talk about, we've got some discussion of pedals that we're going to get into today, because I love to talk about gear. But if you have questions, drop them in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Go to licklibrary.com for lessons, go to Guitar Interactive Magazine. Pardon me, magazine.com for gear, news, reviews, all of the above. Of course, you will find me in both places because I do a little bit of stuff for both folks. So anyway, let's get into the stream and we'll say hello to everybody and then we'll get into the meat of today's session. Although I'm tempted to do a little discussion of pedals first, because there's been some pedals going on there, but we'll say some hellos. First of all, Sacred Godslayer is in the house, says, hi Nick, hi guys, it's great to have you. We know Sacred Godslayer has strong feelings on the subject of things like music theory. He is very much in favour of, as an educated and erudite metal guitar player. And a fine shredder, no less. Marcin is in the house. Marcin, it is lovely to have you. Response Audio is here. Hope you're all having a great Monday. I am too. And he says, hi Nick, not knee, as in the Knights that say. Any Monty Python fans in the audience? Who knows? PJ is saying, hi Nick, hi guys. Late today as the Isle of Man TT is keeping me busy. Are you watching or are you racing? If you're racing, very impressive. If you're watching, still pretty cool. Any tips for quicker and more efficient and accurate position shifting? Yes, we have some tips, and we'll be addressing that question in particular in our Q&A section at the end of today's stream. So stick around, we're going to be doing that in about 40 minutes time. We'll be doing our Q&A session. Larry Warren says, hey there guys, hey Nick, interesting topic. I think it's an interesting topic too, for sure. Mark Crandall says, hey Nick, hey guys, been trying to improve my theory knowledge, watched a Jack Gardner video on intervals. He praises Tom Quayle, his teacher, quite a bit. I didn't know that Tom taught Jack. Now that's interesting, but I know Tom is a guy who's changed the way a lot of us think about, not necessarily, well, yes, about playing the guitar, but also the way we think about teaching the guitar, the way we think about visualizing the fretboard and communicating this stuff too. I've taken a lot of my my inspiration from Tom. Tom's the man, you know, great guitar player, great guy, all of the above. So yeah, I can see why, but also big props to Jack Gardner, fabulous guitar player, nice dude as well, nice guy. So who else do we have in the house? Foghorn is just here, got some questions for us as well. Says he has a question for everyone. I need 3 sounds for my live rig. Clean with chorus, a bit of delay or reverb and compression, welcome. Main meat and potatoes 80s Marshall metal, plus volume boost with delay. And he's asking, how do you all do it? Well, the other caveat to this is he's allergic to digital and sick of the 4-cable method and don't like channel switches. Pedal board and 2 cables in the front end for me. Sorry to waffle. No sorry at all. We're going to see if we can get that working for you today. I don't know if I have an 80s metal pedal, but I'll figure it out. Or an 80s Marshall pedal. I may have one. I may need to grab one from the pedal shelves. I think, yeah, we might be able to do this. We just might be able to do that for you. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. It says, sorry to add, worked out a way using my OCD clone Electro-Harmonix The Glove as a Marshall and a box type pedal with an SD1 for drive, then delay and EQ. Amp is totally clean, not used it loud yet. For sure, well, I've got some thoughts on this that I'll show you in a second. So we're going to get to that in a minute. We've got some great suggestions coming in for that. I've started them up. We're going to return to that in a moment. It's very interesting questions. If you guys have thoughts on how to do that particular signal chain, i.e. clean plus chorus plus all of the above, lovely wet effects, and then the meat and potatoes rhythm, and then the lead thing, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Who else do we have? Let's say some more hellos. We've got a question from Timothy Appling saying, Nick, how do you use tube amps and pedals live or modelers? Oh, sorry, do you use tube amps and pedals live or modelers with tube or solid state amps when live and loud? How about distortion pedals in front and other effects in loop? That's the question. It's a great question. For me, because I have to travel and I have to get whatever rig I'm comfortable with playing on an airplane, and I don't know what the backline is going to be like on the other end, I am a modeler guy when I travel. I am very much a valve amp guy in the studio, as you can tell. I'm kind of surrounded by them. No prizes for guessing which amp brand I personally favor. There's lots of them. I'm a Victory artist. You guys know I do a bunch of videos for Victory too. So yeah, like very much a Victory valve amp kind of character. But when I travel, it's modelers for me. But we'll talk more about that in a bit. So anyway, Kim is in the house. Kim, it's great to see you. Saw Kim about 10 minutes ago. It made me a lovely curry last time I was up. And I'm going to see you again tomorrow when I get in, or Wednesday, who knows. Justin Ray is tuning in for the first time in a while. It's lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us. We got some more comments, lots of friends saying evening. We're going to say hello to Block 18, to Chris Davis, to Eddie Russell, to Roger Guitar. Roger, it's great to have you. To our friend Kate Strange, great to see you. To a hi, yeah, thanks for coming. 2 hyphens. Yeah, don't know what that says, but I'm assuming it's cool. My friend Ainsley is tuning in on Facebook. Ainsley, it's great to see you. My big regret not learning theory. I mean, it hasn't stopped you being a fantastic guitar player. Ainsley really kicks ass, but you know, hey, maybe we'll get some stuff for you today. Who knows? Tim Stewart is in the house. Tim, it's great to see you. My friend Craig says, what on the Monday night is this? It's not the Monday Night Wars. We're not competing with another stream. We got some cool comments here. Mal Riley says, until I learned about and understood music theory, I was confused. Can confirm. Citizen 741X says, learning some theory made me better. It helps me to get the sound in my head out once I know what it is. So we've got a lot of folks that are pro theory in the audience, and we like a bit of that. There's a lot of cool comments coming in. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. But first of all, let's address the elephant in the room, which is, will music theory make me less creative? I mean, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here because everybody that turns up to these streams is a guitar player for the most part who is interested in improving themselves and understands the importance of a holistic, whole musician approach to learning the guitar, which involves developing technique, understanding music theory and fretboard visualization and knowledge and all that sort of stuff, and also things like expressiveness, repertoire, feel, timing, tone, basically all of the above. We are modern guitar players here, even though we might not look like it, that's me, or necessarily sound like it sometimes. We are educated guitar players and modern guitar players in our approach, because they're the kind of people that you guys are the kind of people that tend to visit these streams. But even still, you may find yourself having this conversation with another well-meaning guitar player. Maybe you want to help a friend out, or even just answer a question that's maybe been, you know, nagging you for a while. So first of all, the first reason music theory will not make you a less creative guitar player is because you already know music theory. Even if you don't think you know music theory, you already know music theory. I'm going to ask a question in the comments, right? A quick question in the comments, and we're going to be super like reductionist about this. What I want to know from you guys is, what is this that I'm about to play? You'll have to excuse me a quick second. I'm just going to move this camera down because I've realized we have 24 frets and you can't see them all. So let me just very quickly shift this guy around. That's much better. We can see all the frets now. So very quickly, what is this that stands before me? I'm going to play something. I want you to know in the comments. I want you to let me know in the comments what you think I'm playing here. I'll play it again. What is that we just played? You let me know in the comments, right? You can describe it as fully or as, you know, as reductionist as you like. So here we go. Our friend Colin O'Hare says A minor pentatonic. Eddie Russell says minor pentatonic, A minor pentatonic. Pentathlon, that's autocorrect. A lot of people with pentatonic scales. We love a bit of that. Did anybody else say, or did anybody think while he was saying that, pentatonic scale, the A minor pentatonic scale descending, starting from the third, going down to the root over 2 octaves? If anybody said that, hey, you got it. C major pentatonic, says Citizen. Absolutely, it could be C major pentatonic. We need more information to confirm. But you guys have figured this out, right? So here's the thing, right? Here's the deal. Even if a guitar player only knows this, they know some music theory. Because music theory is simply, as far as we are concerned as guitar players, shortcuts to sounds. You might think about music theory as a map. A map may be something that you dig out of the back of your car, a big paper thing. It might be something you get up on your phone. Let's say we live in a modern world, we have phones. Music theory is a map to point you to the sound that we are trying to produce. And we use shorthand to quickly label sounds and quickly recall them so that we can use them without having to, you know, dig out a reference text or anything weird like that, or ask a friend, go consult a guitar teacher or whatever. We use music theory as a way of quickly categorizing sounds so we can recall them, and also so we can quickly relate some sounds to other sounds. Here's another question, right? I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to play the following, and I want you to tell me which pentatonic scale you would play over this. Let me know very quickly. If I go like this, let me know quickly in the comments. The first thing that comes to mind. Roger Guitarian with the answer, G minor, area it looks, for sure. So if I told you even more information on this, if I said, hey, we're going to jam a blues, and the blues is in the key of G, we'd know what to do. We'd know what to do. Even if you didn't know that the notes contained within the G minor pentatonic scale, R, G, B flat, C, D, F. Even if you didn't know that, you knew that, let's say, for example, if all you know of the pentatonic is this shape, and a root note, you know music theory. I am going to put it to you that it is impossible to play anything on the guitar full stop without some sense of some kind of theory of how it goes together. Now, this may not be conventional Western music theory, but it is impossible to play literally anything on the guitar and be able to play it again more than once without some understanding of how the notes on the guitar go together, right? Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense? So we have some sense of music theory already. So you already know theory. So by extension, every player who's ever played anything ever understands music theory to at least some extent. And that could be the extent of this chord is bear claw and this chord is cat paw or whatever they said on Friends, right? But it's still some kind of theory of how the chords go together, right? Or similarly, it could be the sense of I play this pentatonic box and I put it on the note that is appropriate for the key. That's fine too. So if every guitar player who's ever played guitar understands music theory, then it is impossible for music theory, by extension, to prevent guitar players from being creative, because it would mean that no guitar player had ever been creative ever. And we know that is not true. My friend Craig said cat paw. I don't know, I don't remember what Phoebe said, right? It might have been cat paw, it might have been triangle, I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? It's one of these things. So, here's another one with this, right? So the next question with music theory is, well, okay, so I know a little bit of music theory, but I don't really use it. I don't really rely on it. I just play by ear. I find a shape and I play by ear. Well, let's talk about why music theory may improve your ability to play by ear and your ability to improve your feel, so to speak. Now, we're going to play some stuff, and we're going to play some stuff together using C sharp minor pentatonic. Right, C sharp minor pentatonic, because our backing track is in C sharp. For anybody who wants to play along and doesn't know what that is, the minor pentatonic in question is going to be on fret number 9, my mistake, on the low E string, same box, but you can play it anywhere that you want. I'll be playing it here, just for reference. We're going to throw some delicious gain on just to give us an easy time of it, and because it sounds nice. The amp is shouting at me, but we'll see if it's going to unshout. And we're going to play back and forward. So I'm going to play a little bit, and I'm going to get you to play after me. We'll do a little bit of back and forth. We're going to be looking for something specific here, which is how much time do you spend on root notes? Do you know where the root notes are? If you don't, I'll let you know over the course of the thing. But you let me know how much time you spend on root notes. How much time do you start and finish on those root notes? Root notes being C sharps. I think we already knew that if we're playing C sharp minor, but still. Here's our track. I'm going to go first, just to set you up. Okay, you take a turn. That's a very noisy volume knob. So you're going to play whatever you like. It's C sharp minor that we're playing. Just observe how much time you spend starting and finishing on, say, these root notes, for argument's sake. I'll give you a little bit longer, just so we've got a bit of time to do our thing. I'm covered in dust. Okay, one more time. I'm going to go like this. Take a turn. I'm very Steve Vai today, but that's okay. I think this guitar makes me feel very Steve Vai. I think there's something about the neck. Even still, C sharp minor pentatonic. I'm going to take a turn. You take a turn. You take a turn. All right. So I'm going to take another turn. You take a turn. Hopefully we're going to make a little discovery after this. So I'm going to let you have the last word on this track. Bosh. Okay, cool. Now, let's come out of there real quick. So what I wanted to know from you, as we were playing along with this track, as we were playing some C# minor, and you were playing some stuff, I want to know, how much time did you spend on this note, on this note, on this note, these root notes? Now, this is something that I hear a lot of guitar players do, is spend a load of time, a ton of time on root notes, because root notes feel nice and safe and they feel good. Mal Riley says about half of the time on the root note. I'm going to show you what it sounds like when we spend ages landing on the root. But here's a cool comment from my friend Craig, who says, if you want to know why you should, if you want to know why you should is in learning theory, what Bill Oddie decided to learn without lessons because Mark Knopfler said so. It was atrociously arrogant. Burke. There you go, Bill Oddie the Burke. He loves grubs though, apparently, so, you know. That's one thing. I don't know the first thing about grubs, so maybe, who knows. Anyway, here's some more things coming in real quick. It says, Roger Guitar says, always come back to them. A lot of time finishing the phrase there. Regarding on the root notes, here's a great one from Sacred Godslayer. Didn't realize I spent almost no time on it. Didn't expect it. Very interesting. So, let me show you what it sounds like when we just spend an age on these roots, right? I'm going somewhere with this. It sounds fine. It sounds fine. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Great comment from Mal Riley, who's about to head me off at the pass here, says, regarding Satch, says, Satch once said in a lesson to stay away from root notes to build more tension and make the song sound more interesting. Roger Guitar says, all you're hearing is that root note almost drowns out the rest. For sure. So the point I'm getting at here is, even if we only know this one scale, having an understanding of what the various notes are within this scale, what they are in relation to where our chords are, in relation to our root note, i.e. how do these notes relate to C#, which one sounds the particular way, which one sounds a particular other way, gives us the ability to take this scale and create movement in our soloing. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to contrast playing root notes. I've done this in a previous demonstration. Contrast playing root notes as my central locus versus things like fourths and sevenths. And I'm going to divide the scale up as follows. So take a look at this real quick. I'm going to show you very quickly. So, root note, third, fifth, root note, third, fifth, root note, 7, 4, 7, 4. When I play 7s and 4s, it's going to sound airy and interesting. When I play 5s, it's going to sound questioning. When I play 3, it's going to sound sweet. When I play 1, it's going to sound firm and resolved and full of confidence and settledness and all that sort of stuff. Now, I can create some movement. Stop that amp. For some reason, the amp starts to scream at me when I switch to that channel. I think it's a weird MIDI thing, but, you know, this amp's been through the ringer. Maybe it needs a little service. Who knows? So check this out real quick. So first of all, let's land on some 7s. Let's land 4. And now root. 4, 3, with some more outlandish stuff. What this gives me is because I understand the theory behind how these notes relate to I guess how they relate to the tonal sender, but also how they relate to the chords I'm playing. It gives me an opportunity to decide how I want a particular note to feel in my playing. How do I want this note to feel? How do I want this musical moment to feel in terms of resolution, in terms of how bold or how sweet or how questioning or how, what's the word, how airy or how expensive do I want it to feel? Do I want it to feel happy? Do I want it to feel weird and quizzical? You can conjure all of these sounds. The 7 feelings, somebody's put in the comments, let's not go there. That's another story for another day. You can conjure all of these things just by having an understanding of not just the shape that you're playing, but how the notes relate to each other. How do the notes relate to the chord you're playing or relate to the scale we're playing? Now, it's perfectly possible to develop an instinct for this without having to concern yourself with the theory. But I would contend that just having an instinct and having a sense of this note sounds like this note sounds like this, is a kind of theory anyway. It's maybe just a pet theory that perhaps you don't have the names that other people use for, but that's okay. You still kind of understand what it is that we're playing. Let's go in another direction with this. So in addition to music theory allowing us to decide on things like this and to react to things like this, we can also use our theory knowledge to craft certain lines. Now here's a fun thing, right? Here's a fun thing. I'm going to, here's a great comment from my friend Craig. I'm going to star that up a little later. I'm going to play some more stuff in C# minor. I'm going to expand myself out to allow myself to play up and down the fretboard, which is less theory, more fretboard knowledge. Same thing-ish. They're kind of cousins to each other. Fretboard knowledge is knowing where to find given ideas on the fretboard, or fretboard visualization. Theory is actually knowing what those ideas are in the first place. But let's go to town with this and we'll see where we get to. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how music theory gives me the capacity. Oh, we have an English comment from our friend. It says, where are you from? I'm from the northeast of England. That's where. Which is why I have a strange accent, because I also have to address the camera, and I'm a singer as well, so my accent kind of changed when I started singing, and it changed again when I started presenting, but just one of those things. So anyway, I'm going to show you how theory allows me, in this case, to not just create ideas, but to continue to develop those ideas. And I'll show you what development means, as far as I'm concerned, here. Let's take a look. Now, let's go to town with this. We're going to play it together. What I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to play something with a similar rhythm to what I'm playing, and I'm going to ask you to see if you can develop this idea across the guitar's neck or in a single position. It doesn't really matter. Wherever you want to develop it, that's up to you. But let's see if you can do this. Now, if you have a working understanding of music theory, this should be fairly easy. If not, it's going to reveal to you where you might want to look next. And then once we've done this, we'll talk about how you can develop it. So let's take an idea that's 3 notes and goes ba-ba-ba, like this. And I'll go. You take a turn, same idea, ba-ba-ba, 3 notes. See what you can do with that little 3-note phrase, ba-da-ba, ba-ba, etc. You can put whatever rhythm you want on it, you can play it as many times as you want, but let's see where we get to. All right, I'm going to go a little further with the same idea. You take a turn. Etc., etc., etc. See if you can develop that idea any further. We're going to take one more pass at this and see where we get to. All right, I'm going to go. You take a turn. I'm going to give you the last word here because we're going to go to the comments. We're going to see how everybody gets on with this. And there we'll stop. Okay, so let me know in the comments if that was something you were able to do. If you were able to take an idea, a simple idea like this, and develop this idea into something not more complicated, but take this idea and move it around the fretboard and move it around musically. If you were struggling to do this with reliability, you may find that some theory might help with what it is we're doing. Here's a great question from Set Up by Marshall saying C sharp Aeolian or A Lydian or B mixed Lydian. Well, in this context, it's C sharp Aeolian. The reason being that C sharp is our home. We can access all of those notes for sure, right? So here's a cool one from maaaaan saying squeezed in some arpeggios. Nice, 3 notes, arpeggios, good place to put some arpeggios in. Eddie Russell says, yes, I like that. Excellent, pleased to hear that. Angus Orvid with some great observations saying music theory helps you become a less guitar-ish guitarist and think about music in general and communicate concepts to other musicians. It's indispensable, for sure. What I will also say though is let's not be afraid of the guitarisms. So the guitarisms, they're cool. And what I've noticed is a lot of times when I get called to play some guitar stuff, what people actually want is the guitar-ish stuff. But it's really important to be able to couch that in the context of some theory. Mal Riley, do I want to play this? We'll see. Nick says Nick, play this. 595858675859 low E string. Let's see what we got here. Okay. What do we got there, Mal Riley? You let me know. It sounds cool. Let me know what we're listening to there. So, who else do we have? Oh, here's an interesting one from Ryan Fitzgerald. It says, I was able to develop it fairly easily, but it made me realize I should incorporate more motifs into my playing. Oh, Mal Riley says, play it across the strings. I've got you from the low E string. Okay, so what do we got? Let's see. That's an interesting noise. We like that. Very cool. Really, really interesting. Yeah, pretty cool. That's interesting. We like that. I don't know why I thought it was played on one E string, but that's an interesting sound. We think that's pretty cool. I'm into that. So, development of ideas is something that is, I guess, is kind of crucial to sounding like we know what we're doing. Because here's the deal, right? A lot of music is about repetition, and it's about repetition and development. Similarly, a lot of music is about the balance between stable and unstable sounds. And our ability to manage these these ideas of repetition and variation, and these ideas of tension and release, or stability and instability, comes down to how well we understand music as a whole and how well we understand our fretboard, all of the above. So music theory is super important for these reasons, right? It enables you to take ownership of what you're playing. It enables you to easily and quickly call sounds from, your imagination into being on the fretboard. It enables you to communicate with other musicians. We've probably already sold you on the idea, but here's another interesting quick question. So I'm going to play you a backing track, and I'm going to ask you if you can suss this out for me, right? We're going to play something, and I'm going to say to you, well, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to see if you can tell me what chords are being used here, but I'm going to ask you if you can do it without your guitar. I'm going to say here the first chord is D. We're playing D minor. First chord is D. Here we go. No guitars. Just see if you can figure this out on your own. So no guitars. Can we figure it by ear? First chord is D. Let me know in the comments if you know what chords it is. No cheating though. No guitars. Let me know if you can figure this out by listening. First chord is D. Sacred Godslayer's got it. It says B flat and C. How did he get to that, by the way? I want to know from you, Sacred Godslayer, and anybody else who got this. Let me know how you got to that. Great question, great one from our friend Set Up by Marshall. D, C, B flat, and then A, B flat, for sure, 100%. Chris Davis saying D, C, B flat, for sure. So these are all things that we know, right? We can recognize that chord sequence. I deliberately chose a fairly common one. But here's the thing, right? You didn't need a guitar for you to be able to tell what chords they were, right? This is another benefit of music theory. Understanding music theory enables you to learn things more quickly. It enables you to learn melodies and songs and riffs and chord progressions much quicker than if you didn't have an understanding of music theory, if you had to sit and work stuff out chord by chord. If I said to you now, let's play that same chord progression. Chord progression might be this. So it's very Mr. Crowley, as you guys have rightly pointed out. Let me just quickly tune, because we're a little bit out. Also, this volume knob is really scratchy. I think I must have damaged that when I was on stage. I'm a little unfriendly with the guitars on stage, let's say. And I think this guitar needs heavier low strings. I feel like the top strings are really great, but I feel like heavier low strings might be good. So if we took the same idea and I said, well, it's nice, but let's maybe play it in F sharp. Would you know how to do that? If maybe you had a singer you were going to work with, or you wanted to write a song that maybe had this progression, would you guys know how to do that? I'm sure you would, because you would know it's F sharp. And somebody said very Toto. I totally agree, very Toto, which is only an inch from... Where's the line? Which means we can get this. Where's the solo go from there? Why am I only hearing... That's John Sykes' solo from Crying in the Rain. I think it's the same rhythm, but even still. But you get the gist with this. You're able to then draw connections between other pieces of music, and you go, well, these use the same chord progression as this, so if there's an idea that I heard on that piece of music, hey, you know, I heard Marty Friedman play something like this. Over a similar chord progression, but this time we're playing in D, so I'll play it in D. I'll move it to here. It opens up possibilities for making connections between pieces of music, where pieces of music are no longer islands. They're no longer isolated pieces where you've learned one thing and then you've learned another thing. Craig says, Crying in the Rain, still an F sharp minor. It's E, isn't it, I think? And that solo's wherever it goes from there. I'm guessing, right? I'm guessing, but here's the thing. But I was able to guess that because my music theory. Anyway, hopefully I've sold you guys on the idea that music theory is a good idea, but if you want to know more and you have questions, drop your questions in the comments. We are going early to the Q&A session today because we're going to talk about rig stuff. So if you have questions, drop your questions in the comments. If you want to know a little more about music theory, we have a course for you. Check this out. This is Sam Bell's Improvisation Theory. It is now available on licklibrary.com. It's been available for a little while. It's a great course. Sammy B is, of course, one of our favourites. We love a bit of Sam. This is a great course. If you want to know a little more about music theory and how it can relate to your improvisation and being a more creative guitar player, you'll get some good stuff out of this course.
Hi, Sam here for licklibrary.com and welcome to Improvisation Theory. This series of lessons is designed around a backing track. There'll be 5 lessons per backing track, and in the Improvisation Theory section of the lessons, we'll be looking at the fretboard knowledge that we need to learn in order to play over the backing track. So if the backing track has a certain chord progression or a couple of chord progressions, we'll be analysing how to see the relevant notes for those chords and the right scales around those notes for the chords that will work. And this will give us the framework in order to then improvise and play our own ideas. To accompany this series, for the same lessons, for the same backing track, there's also the improvisation application lessons where we look at different ideas and phrases that we can build using the knowledge that we're looking at in this series. So hopefully that makes sense. Grab your guitar and we'll dive in.
So there you go. That is Sam Bell's Improvisation Theory. Eddie Russell saying Sam looks like a hostage being forced to make a video. Don't tell anybody, right? So we have Sam under lock and key down at Lick Library HQ. We put him in the amp cupboard at the end of the night and we dig him out for videos and stuff. Sam's the man though, right? He's really, he's the boy. Interesting one from, here we go, set up by Marshall says, I would enjoy it if you might join me in a live improvisational stream. Yep, we can do it. Would you? I'm always down for that sort of thing. Why not? We'll see. Colin Hare says the guy never sleeps. He doesn't. Sam doesn't believe in sleep. Eddie Russell, don't be sorry. It's funny, right? Sam would appreciate that. Sam would think it's hilarious. He's a really funny dude, like beyond funny, super dry. So here's a question anyway. A very interesting one from Sacred Godslayer. We've got some great questions coming in. Sacred Godslayer says, total out of boundaries question, Nick. What's your stance on new techniques like thumping, slapping on guitar, or selective picking? Well, I'm going to go through these one at a time because I will first say that these techniques were popularized, obviously, by Tosin Abasi, to a lesser extent, Javier Reyes, fabulous guitar players, right? For me, I will say with Javier, I like his playing better when he's not in Animals as Leaders. He's fantastic in Animals as Leaders, but his own stuff is chef's kiss, to die for, right? Great player. Tosin, equally beautiful player, fabulous technician and great musical mind, all of the above. But here's the thing. First of all, selective picking. For me, selective picking falls under the remit of things like string skipping, which is like, why is this even a thing? So selective picking being choosing to pick some notes and not pick others. Don't we all just do that anyway? Now, I understand the idea of using this as a musical device, and that's cool, right? That is great. But, I mean, like, we're all just sort of doing that anyway. We have the option of either picking a note or not picking a note. We can pick or not pick certain notes for rhythmic effect. Folks have done this since the dawn of legato technique on the guitar. It's been around for a very long time. So for me, I don't think it's necessarily a new technique. I think it's just giving a name to something, which we've all felt the urge to. Similarly for things like thumping and slapping. To me, slapping, thumping, it's things that guitar players have probably done for some time. You know, you can look at Reggie Wooten, for example. So Victor Wooten's brother, Reggie, guitar player, did the percussive guitar thing for a long time. What I'll say is all of these things are very cool musical ideas. I'm not sure they warrant being considered to be like separate techniques, in the sense that, but I'm kind of reductionist about this. For me, for example, I feel like hammer-ons from nowhere, like that's a silly name for a technique, because it's a silly name for a technique because it's a hammer-on. It's no different to a regular hammer-on. We hammer on, we sound the note by hitting the string off the fret. It's the same deal, right? So selective picking, I understand that it's a cool thing. I know where we're going with this, but for me, I'm like, yeah, it's a cool way to make music. And I love the sounds that these guys are making with it. I just don't think it needs its own name. I think it's just pick these notes, don't pick others. But I am prepared to be wrong here because I am rapidly approaching 40. I'm 40 in 3 weeks. Terrifying. So maybe I'm just old now a touch. Here's some boom bands. Anyway, so some questions that came in earlier that I promised I would get to and we're going to get to. And we're going to get to in length here. PJ says, hi Nick, hi guys. Late today, he's asking for any tips for quicker and more efficient and accurate position shifting. For sure. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest as far as position shifting is something Guthrie has talked about, because we sit at the feet of the master and he has got a really great observation with regards position shifting, which was similar to the way a dancer performs rotations. Now I can't do that. I'm going to do it on my chair because why not? Right, so I have a chair, the chair will rotate, hopefully the mic won't die, but if you watch a dancer, I cannot dance, by the way. I'm going to have to take this mic away. In fact, I'll just unplug the guitar. That's probably the way to do it. Long way to go around making a demonstration of spinning around, let me tell you, but we'll do it anyway. So, I feel like we need a we'll do it live sound effect here. If you watch a dancer spin, I cannot dance, which is why I'm going to do this on a chair. They won't do this with their head. They won't go. What they'll do is this. And so on and so forth, right? So the head is on a fixed position and the head sort of snaps round faster than the body turns and it stays focused on a single point. Guthrie made the observation that shifting positions on the guitar is a lot like this. We should be quick and dancer-like in our position shifting. I'm just making sure I haven't caught myself in too much of a tangle while doing that. I am on a wired mic, so, you know, why not? Saves me having to charge it. Anyway, so as far as position shifting goes, if we are fast and deliberate about our position shifts, as opposed to drifty and fluid, here's drifty, fast and deliberate, we should end up with a cleaner shift for that reason. Now, this is something that doesn't bear too much explaining beyond just be snappy with the position shifts, but obviously I've answered the question of how do you shift positions faster by saying shift positions faster. But here's one on accuracy, same deal. So with accuracy, I think an important thing is to be very confident with your position shift and have a clear mental idea of where it is you're about to go. If you can clearly visualize where the hand is about to go to, you can easily get the hand there quickly and with confidence. I think often with this stuff, it's less of a technical thing, but more of a visualization thing and more of just a clear idea of I'm going here and this is when I'm going there and this is how quickly I'm going there. But there may be some technical things too. So other technical sides that we might look at are what's going on with your thumb. If your thumb is applying too much pressure into the back of the neck, that can be a problem because it can slow you down. Similarly, if we're holding the guitar up with the left hand, if you're using the left hand to support the guitar, that can also be a problem. We don't want to support the guitar with the left hand. We want to support the guitar with some combination of our body or a strap and perhaps the right hand forearm. That's where the support comes from. This hand is free just to move around to its heart's content. So this hand should be floating over the guitar. Yes, we touch, but it should be a touch rather than a grasp, and that might help, I think. We're going to check in with the live comments, see if everybody's got some interesting stuff going on there. Let's see. Says Craig regarding this will be good for sure. Yeah, 100%. Here's another interesting one. A theory comment has come in from our friend Arcade Piano. Theory is wrong. They don't even know how many chords there are, no matter the instrument nor octaval tonality. Hey, you know what? Yeah, why not? It's really funny. I assume that's a joke. It's really funny. For sure. So we got another one here from Sacred Godslayer. It says, I kind of worded my question badly. I meant, are you interested in studying them, or if you don't find them worth spending time? Oh, referring to the new techniques. I think study them, but I think it's more important to study the music that these guys are making with these techniques rather than the actual techniques as. I'm saying that I'm going to walk that back, because using these techniques might be a cool way for you to come up with some interesting ideas, perhaps. Let's say. It says, Sacred says, geez, Nick, you fixed my 4 notes ascending with 2 words. I didn't fix it, it was go 3. Right, I just told it, but I'm glad to hear that, man. Thank you very much. There we go, killer. Okay, great, good news. So let's get into one from our friend Noel Mashuk, saying how to practice major and minor scales. It's a good question. It's a very good question. The way to practice major and minor scales is twofold. First of all, you practice major and minor scales by playing them up and down, which sounds like a very obvious thing to say, and I don't mean for it to be reductionist like this, but you play them up and down in context. So for example, if I was to practice E major, I would throw on a backing track that uses E major. I've got a really nice one that I use all the time. Let me just go and find it. Here's my ambient ballad in E major. I would throw on a sound that I like, I'd throw on a backing track that I like, and I would take my E major and go like this. And I can play the scale up and down and have fun playing it. But what I'd really do is I'd use this music as an opportunity to explore the scale, get used to how it sounds, figure out where it is, what does it look like, what the individual notes sound like when I string them together, can I jump from one to the other, can I jump across notes. I think that is a fun way to practice scales, where we're sort of improvising, but we're improvising in the sense that we're exploring the scale. Because then we get to make music, we get to listen to the scale, and we also get to to explore it in more of a free kind of sense. But there's also a sense of urgency about it too. We have to play something interesting and in time to keep ourselves entertained. So we've done some streams on that. If you want to know more about that, hey, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Hopefully that's answered your question. Here's a cool one from our friend Craig. Says, how do you pick and squeeze the note, and what accent? Oh, no, this is not a question, it's a comment, which I meant to flag up later. It says how you pick and squeeze the note and what accent you use with regards to, this is an extension of music theory. I think so. This is an extension. Dynamics are an extension of understanding of music. So dynamics and tonal control and all that stuff. It's a great comment, really good comment. People overlook how we address the string and how it affects the tone of the guitar and the delivery of the note that we're playing. Here's a Friends, do not use an Apple Magic Mouse, for you can swipe yourself with 2 fingers in and out of a studio like we've just done here. So we're not going to do that. Annoying. Never mind, that's okay, that's cool. We're going to get back to our questions. So, Mustache Metal says, Nick, can you share some knowledge on whole tone and hexatonic stuff? Sure can. Here's a fun thing with whole tone. So for me, whole tone lives as an extension of melodic minor. And it also lives as an extension of Lydian dominant, which is melodic minor. So if we go to a Dorian style backing track, for argument's sake, real quick, for me, I feel like there is a continuum of pentatonic to hexatonic being pentatonic plus an extra note, through to something like Dorian, through to something like melodic minor, through to something like whole tone. I think the internet is giving us some grief. So if we've gone a bit low res, I do apologize. I think that's because I've swiped myself in and out of the studio. Hopefully everything will resolve itself a little bit better in a second. It hasn't done this in a while. I think this is just some bank holiday stuff and some me moving in and out of the studio thing. So let's go to a Dorian track. This Dorian track in particular is going to be in the key of C, if I can find it, C Dorian, because it's a nice heavy vamp type thing. So check this out, right? Let's go to this. C sharp minor pentatonic. Plug in this note. And suddenly we have C sharp hexatonic, I guess you can call it that. So C hexatonic. Plug in this note, and now we've Dorian. Lots of people get this far. Now, take Dorian, sharpen all the fours, we've got melodic minor. It extends in and out of Dorian, extends in and out of pentatonic, but here's the fun thing, right? Check this out. These notes here, from our melodic minor, in this case, 7, 6, 5, 4, and flat 3, a whole tone. So we can go from pentatonic to Dorian to melodic minor to whole tone in this progression. And so on and so forth. It's a really fun little progression, but we can also do the same thing with mixed Lydian. Apologies if anybody's getting a bit lost with this, but we're doing some fun stuff here. So mixed Lydian, same thing, right? Pentatonic. Mixed Lydian. Sharpen the fours, Lydian dominance. But what do you find here? Whole tone. Loads of fun. So, upshot of this is there is a whole tone that lives in the Dorian, and there is a whole tone that lives in the mixed Lydian. The whole tone that lives in the Dorian starts on the 5. The whole tone that lives in the mixed Lydian starts on the 1. That's it. So yeah, some whole tone questions, whole tone answers with some very sinister music. Again, apologies if this is going a little bit kind of a little bit kind of low res as well. We're having some connection troubles apparently, but I think that's because I brought myself in and out of the stream. We'll hit one more question because I promised that we would. Promised that we would. So from our friend Foghornish, asking about rigs and how we do the rig thing. Here's what I would do. So if you don't want to use an amp, and you don't want to use 4 cable method and you want to boost, I would do the following. I would have myself a clean amp, and the amp would have to be clean, because in order to get a volume boost out of a clean amp, we need enough headroom that we can push the amp into distortion. Sorry, I'm looking around because I'm trying to see if I have enough pedals to do this, but I would use an amp in a box type pedal, such as my favorite amp in a box type pedal, which is this guy. Where are you? All the way over here. This is all the way over here because it's recently been in my hand luggage, and I'm going to fall over and reveal parts of myself to the camera. There we go. This is a Victory Kraken V1 pedal. Love this pedal. Real sweetheart of a pedal, but any amp in a box type pedal will do. What I would do is I would have this pedal and I would have, you're going to need a few. So you'll need this pedal, which will be your core amp sound, into a clean amp. Next to it, you will have the following. You'll have compression optional, maybe, who knows. If you want compression, cool. If the amp is really clean, you probably will. So compressor pedal, then this guy. This is the dirt sound. Following that, we have a clean boost pedal, and the clean boost pedal must be clean, or it could be an EQ pedal, that would work fine. Something that's going to lift your level. Then we have chorus, then we have delay, in that order. Now that's a lot of switching, it's a lot of stamping. So what I would suggest is grab yourself some kind of pedal switcher. So put these pedals on a board and grab something like, I have a Boss ES8, which is my pedal switcher of choice. You may like a gig rig, for example, or you might want to get one of the more budget options. There's some really great choices out there. I think Joyo make quite a nice one from what I remember. Some kind of pedal switcher that allows you to put a number of pedals in order. So let's say you have 5 pedals, which we've just done. We have compression, amp sound, clean boost, chorus, reverb, delay even, let's say. If you want a reverb, you can put the reverb pedal in there too. So maybe 6. Put those in a pedal switcher, create some presets so you can stamp one and then go to the other. When I was using pedals live, that's what I did. So that's why I have my ES8, which I still use to bring presets in and out. That's the way I would approach it, personally. So hopefully that has answered your question. Fingers crossed. That's the way I would do it. Personally, I'd probably, and that's without doing the 4 cable method. If you're doing 4 cable, it's a little bit easier because you can just use a dirty amp. If you don't want to switch channels, you can do a fun thing like an underdrive. So you can take a dirty amp sound and you can use a pedal to clean the amp sound up. I don't have enough. Do I have enough cables to do this? Let me just do this real quick. So you guys are going to have to be a little patient with me while I grab some cables to make this underdrive sound. I don't know that I have enough. Let's see. We're going to grab this. I'm going to show you this because this is a really fun trick. Right, I'm going to do this with a Victory V1 Countess pedal. So this is a fun way if you want to get a clean sound out of a single channel amp, right? And you want to do it with a pedal. I realize we're getting a little off topic here, but let's do it anyway. So here's the pedal. I'm going to set this up in such a way that maybe we can see the settings. I don't know. I haven't got enough cameras here really. Let's see, but I'll try it anyway. So we're going to go guitar into, I only have a tiny patch cable to do this, but that's all right. We're going to go guitar into pedal, and then we're going to use our big dirty amp sound. For this, I'm going to go to channel 1, maybe channel 2 even, on the old Super Kraken. Pedal is off right now. Let's go here. So, I'm going to bring this camera down so that we can see the pedal. And hopefully you guys are going to be able to get a sense of what's going on here. Hopefully you can see this pedal's controls. Let me just focus the camera so that we can. There we go. Right, so pedal is currently off, right? Check this out. This is the underdrive trick with a pedal. I did this on some of the Victory demos. It's really cool. So I'd start by getting my big dirty amp sound. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to take the pedal, switch it on, and with the gain set at a reasonably conservative level, I'm just going to crack the volume open until we get a pretty clean sound. From here, I'll pull back some mids, push in some lows, some highs. Maybe pull the highs back a little bit, push the lows. Yeah, that works. So by just cracking the pedals volume open a tiny bit, I get this when the pedal's off. Turn the pedal on. Maybe a bit more mid. That's a really fun trick. Now, you can only do this with certain pedals, and this pedal happens to be one of them, but amp in the box type pedals work quite well for this, especially if it's a lower gain amp in the box type pedal. The trick is to set the pedal's volume, its output really low, because that's the equivalent of turning your guitar's volume down really low, which is going to clean up a dirt sound. So that's a potential option. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun for this stuff. So anyway, guys, I'm going to have to leave you there because we have already run over time. We've got the pedals out. We've done all sorts of stuff. But we're going to leave it there. Hopefully you guys have had some fun hanging out and talking about the guitar. I certainly have. It's been a nice way to spend the Monday. Remember, we do this every Monday. And every Monday, the visuals are high res because I don't swipe myself in and out of the stream, and bank holiday internet doesn't come and bite us. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to investigate that, but it's fine. My name's Nick Jennison. I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, we're going to play out a little longer on the first backing track. We're going to create some themes. We're going to do some stuff. I will see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever you... weekend's over. Enjoy the rest of your week, whatever you get up to. I'll see you on Monday with a very special guest. But I'll tell you more about that on the day. Hi, my name is Nick Jennison, and it's my pleasure to announce that GI Plus, the exclusive lessons from Guitar Interactive magazine, are now included with your Lick Library membership. GI Plus features a whole host of the best players and educators in the world, bringing you exclusive lessons on everything from metal to blues to fusion and everything in between. Want to level up your shred chops? Check out How to Play Fast by Andy James. Or how about Sweep Picking with Rick Graham? Or maybe country's more your bag? Well, how about a full-length country guitar course from Andy Wood? Interested in learning how to play over changes? Well, members get access to hours of exclusive lessons from Fusion Maestro Tom Quayle. Or maybe you want your playing to sound more soulful. Well, who better than Chris Buck to show you how it's done? Members also get access to every lesson ever published in Guitar Interactive magazine, including Michael Caswell's legendary Pro Concepts column. Or maybe you want to learn the secrets of the masters. Well, members get access to over 70 full-length tech sessions where our tutors painstakingly decode the styles of players like David Gilmour, Eddie Van Halen, John Petrucci, Larry Carlton, Slash, Tosin Abasi, Paul Gilbert, and many more. And you get all of this in addition to all of the amazing content on licklibrary.com, which includes note-for-note tuition of over 60 classic albums, weekly lesson uploads, a backing track library, and one-to-one player support. There has never been a better time to sign up than right now.